Hopefully, everybody made it over safely to episode 3. I had no idea so many people felt so strongly about the Sean and Nikki situation. I posted a clip from my last video over on the Clock app, and it has almost 100,000 views. And the conversation in the comments is quite interesting. Some people feel that Nikki was rude. Other people feel that she was justified because Sean is portraying to be someone he's not. There were also comments that said she really didn't say that and that part was edited in. I would have to go back and watch that. But even if they did edit it in, she still said it. She would have to say it in order for them to put it in. But I get it. Context is everything. Who I would love to hear from is Sean and Nikki. When all this is over, I would love to hear how they felt about that scene. But let's go ahead and talk about episode 3. In this episode, we're wrapping up the weddings and the receptions. We get to meet our final couple and we head into the wedding night. This episode kind of jumped around a little bit, so we'll go couple by couple. Let's start with Sean and Nikki because that's where we left off with our jaw on the floor. So Sean and Nikki are standing at the altar. Nikki is standing there with her disappointment, and the person who is officiating the wedding asked them to introduce themselves and tell a little bit about themselves. And I think it was in that moment, despite Nikki's disappointment, internally she locks in. And I feel like she has a moment where she's like, you know what? I'm here. I signed up for this and I'm just going to give it a try. And I say kudos to her because if you're on this show, I feel like the way I take this show is you've tried your way and it didn't work. And so now you're asking the experts for help. Now, I still stick by what I said in episode 1. Attraction to your mate is important. But I also think it's kind of silly to think that someone is going to check every single box. Now, what I did not see for Sean and Nikki is she allowed him to kiss her. Did not see that one coming. And I feel like because she did that, he saw that as a green light to keep going. So they did the garter toss, which he took that off with his teeth, and it was a little bit cringe, just a little bit. And then as they head into the wedding night, he threw a sexual joke out there. Now she played it off well. I was annoyed, but she played it off well. I can't remember if they were turning the thermostat up or down, but the joke was regarding his favorite number and his favorite position, if you could put that together. And so he threw that joke out there and she played it off like, no, 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 none of that. It is my favorite position too, but none of that. And she just laughed it off. I think I was annoyed because I felt like it was too early on to be joking like that. What if that would have offended her? So also because she gave him that green light at the beginning, he seems to consistently be asking for kisses and she gets to the point where she's like, no. So she sets a boundary. Now his response to that was, oh, let the drama ensue. He says it just like that. So he seems a little taken aback by her saying no, but she felt she had to set a boundary because her words were, we don't need to be kissing every 5 minutes. So that's kind of where they leave us with Sean and Nikki. They do sleep together in the bed, and she does ask him to keep his shirt on, which was kind of funny. Let's get into our new couple, Devin and Caitlin. These two work for me. They work for me because they have the same type of relationship mentality, sort of that we're on the same team, let's make this work. Now, don't get me wrong, they have their own individual issues. Devin seems to have some abandonment issues, which is so much of that on this season. And then Caitlyn has dealt with a lot of toxic exes, which there may be some unpacking she has to do there because it seems like she keeps choosing the same type of men. But I think that they seem to want the same things in a relationship, and that's why this could work. Now, the issue that I have surrounding them had nothing to do with them directly, but everything to do with her father. Her father was at the wedding, and he felt it necessary to stand up not once, but twice and announce that he wasn't going to attend, but he's glad he came. He had to tell everybody that twice. Sir, please sit down. Nobody cares. Just kidding. His daughter probably did care. But just like Mecca's dad, this is not about you. It's not about you. You felt the need to get that off of your chest. I'm glad you feel better. But how do you think that made your daughter feel? Speaking of Mecca and Bella Jolie, in this episode, we get to see them have a conversation and we get to see how Mecca's past kind of shapes his thoughts. He's asking Bella Jolie, what if I weird you out? And she asks for an example, and he says, I brush my teeth in the shower. And she's just kind of like, okay, I do that too. And it made me realize that he's seeking to be accepted. And it made me wonder, is that how his abandonment issues show up? If he correlates it to not being accepted by the people who abandoned him. But I like how she handled the situation because she created a safe space for him and let him know, like, that's not weird. That's something common. I do it too, and you're not alone. I'm still rooting for this couple. Again, I think they have great chemistry, and I'm excited to see where they go. Cameron and Michelle. In this episode, they dig a little deeper into him not having long term relationships. And what I appreciated about this conversation is that he was very honest and realistic. And he was saying, I've been single a long time, and having someone in my space is going to be a change for me. And Michelle does seem a little concerned, which I think is completely valid, but she doesn't seem turned off. In order for this relationship to work, it's going to take a lot of communication and a lot of patience, and it cannot all be on Michelle because Cameron, my friend, something tells me part of the reason why you haven't had long term relationships is because you run a strict program. And that's okay. But in this experiment, you're going to have to loosen those reins a little bit because we're here for a reason. Okay. Adam and Marissa, take me out of this group chat, please. Adam had the audacity to ask her, what did you think when you saw me? Keep in mind, he didn't come back and say, well, this is what I thought when I saw you. Like, what? What is that one Kendrick Lamar line? You dating men who, wait, let me catch the beat. Let me catch the beat. You dating men who think they cuter than you? Girl, he think he cuter than you. You need to exit stage left because this ain't it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Miss Courtney and Nick. Courtney decides to ask Nick's friends, why has he been on so many different reality shows? Girl, they not gonna tell you the truth. Now, I don't know if she just did it for the plot or if she really thought that they were going to tell her the truth. But I don't know what she was really thinking. They said his end game was her, and she kind of ate that up. But you could tell the wheels are turning for her, and I could see it in her face that she's trying to decide whether or not to turn on fight or flight. And that's valid considering the situation. I think we need to start taking bets on the next reality show that Nick will be on because this will not be the last and we will see him again. Felipe and Tori. We didn't get a whole lot of them in this episode. And to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to dig in deep to this couple until they get back into their everyday lives. Like I said, Mr. Life of the party here, I think their story is going to be based around how she is going to fit into his party life. So, unless something happens during the honeymoon. So we'll see about that. But they really didn't have a whole lot during this episode. Just their wedding night. They looked like they wanted to tear each other's clothes off, but they behaved. So that was episode 3. The next episode will be the honeymoons, and the couples get to meet up with each other, which will be messy because people are messy. Feel free to join me on the Clock app. Again, the conversation in the comments is quite interesting. I will leave my information either in the description of this video or above my head. Keep it cute in the comments, but definitely join in on the conversation because we've been having us a good old time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you all in episode 4.